guys, on with the next little job. So today I'm doing a job on the fuel tank. It's only a little job, but after a bit of, well, I didn't have to twist his arm. I mentioned this little idea and Dan jumped at it straight away. He seemed to like it. So we're going to do that today. Still got to do a few bits to the chain guard, but I'll get to that when I do the battery box for the dummy oil tank, because there's going to have to be a few cutouts and stuff. And there's something else going on that chain guard, by the way. That's sort of why there was a decision change on where the bicycle pump was mounted, as some of you spotted. Yeah, it's created a bit of discussion, the chain guard, hasn't it? I get it, there's fors and against, which is brilliant. That is good. I like that, because you can't please everybody. It is impossible. But if all bikes were to the same liking, then it'd be quite boring, wouldn't it? So I guess that's what the custom wheel's about, having this huge variety of styles and bikes that we can all dislike or like and whatever. But anyway, it's not quite finished yet, but we will get to that as the bike evolves. And obviously I change things when I go on to other things. It might not quite match that when I finish that, and I'll change that a bit. So as you see me do things, never ever ever take it as it's finished. The bikes are finished when they're in powder and paint. That's when the final decisions have been made and it's getting all its coatings on. As some of you long-term viewers will know, I change my mind a lot, but it's starting to go down the right direction. If it creates a bit of discussion, I think that's fantastic. Anyway, on with the fuel tank. So, as you know, it's got two taps, these lovely brass taps, which you can see that. Ooh. Yeah, it's got these things on it, two of. So, on this tank, you'll see in a minute, I'll get it off and we'll get it on the wobbly bench. It's got quite a deep skirt on it. So what you see here, the actual tank is a good 1.25 inches up where it starts. So we're going to do a little change here. Anyway, let's get it on the bench and show you what I mean. Right, I'll spin these back off at a minute, so they're only on loose. And we're going to be doing a bit of welding and cutting. So, yeah, these tanks have got quite a deep skirt on them, look, before you actually get to the base of the tank. It is probably just a little over an inch. So what we're going to do, another silly idea I've come up with, because these are actually quite pretty, these taps, and when they're on the bike, you know, obviously the bike's quite low, you can't see them at all. And as this is not an original tank, it's not going to be so hurtful chopping it about a bit. So what I'm going to do, let's get to it. Get to what you're trying to say, fat boy. This is where the pen won't work. We're going to sort of get these taps done up to where they're actually going to sit. Then we're going to do a cutout within that skirt. Like so. So that'll be, that bit will be gone. You'll see the tap through there, it'll expose that. That'll look nice with all the copper lines going into it that we've done. And it'll be easier to operate as well with that void there. Because at the minute you have to sort of put your thumb under there. Not that it's any trouble. And you'll be able to get straight to it. And it'll add a little bit more style to the tank, I guess. To some. Some will say leave it alone, some will say get on with it. I get that. I'm going for the latter. I'm getting on with it. Right, we've got the fuel taps on. I've been round with this, checking a few points, and as I thought, there is slight differences, as you'd expect. You'd probably expect that on any tank. It's not a lot, so we're going to go with by the eye measurements. So I'm just going to try and do some marks on there and see if we can come up with something that looks right and not sort of looks wonky from side to side. Tell you what, let me get to the old leather apron. Just ain't rolling the tank around on all that bad surface. There we go. Right, what I'm going to do, see this skirt is just be inboard of that where it meets the base, so we're not disturbing too much. Obviously anything can be welded up, but this skirt is actually open. It's not just one piece of material, it's two pieces of materials and they're starting to part. So fuel does go in this void here. If it's looking like it's going to be a bit too savage, I shall just cut in with the grinder as much as I can, and then we'll finish with sort of the one of the tools up there. Let's see how it goes. You can see on the bottom of this tank where it would have had a bicycle pump, but we wanted ours on show, so I'll probably just chop these off. They're a bit crudely made as well anyway. All right. To be honest, I think it's probably not wise trying to do it with that, because when the drill, with thin material, you see the drill goes in fine and it's not a complete flat surface, but as soon as these teeth start hitting, it can start dragging the drill out, going off centre and making a mess. So I think we're probably best knocking that idea on the head and just attacking it with the angle grinder, the cutter, and doing the curve by hand. Let's get some air tools on the job. See, there's a bit of cut out so you get an idea of the cavity it's got. It's not much. That's all right. we've got a bigger cavity at the front. Oh, knocking everything. We've got a bigger cavity at the front there, so I may just put a sliver of material in there. To bridge that up with weld, we are going to put far too much heat through everything, and there's going to be a high chance of distorting all the tank and making a mess of it. And we know how that goes with buckled tanks. Now, I've cut this little strip out. I'll just simply pull it around this bit of round bar. That might do it. Get some little tacks on here to start with. I'm thinking of another little idea, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to tack it on to start with. Oh, before we do that, cover anything with threads up. I'll get one for there as well. Because you have a bit of spatter going to that fine thread and you're in trouble. Right, let's get a little tack on there. How many of you are blinking at the screen when the welder goes off? I know I do it when I watch someone welding. Like that. Hands up then, how many people have had arc eye? And that's probably why you do it. For anybody who hasn't had arc eye, you'll never know. It normally comes a knocking about 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what that is. It's like an alarm clock. Go to bed fine. At 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's like someone's woke you up, pinned your eyes open, and just banged a load of fine sand in your eyes. Yeah, it's interesting. But I am shutting my eyes when I do these little tacks. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I was thinking of maybe, I don't know if you can see that, let me have a look behind the camera. Sometimes I get stuff out of shot, don't I? Let's get the pen to demonstrate. I was thinking probably just tapering this off. Not much. Into the bottom. So these little cutouts have got a tiny little hood on them. Just to add to it a bit. I think what I'll do is trim it and then see how it'll weld up. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, we can always grind it flat and have it flush. Right, I'll get on and weld it up and we'll find out, eh? Right, I've done a few tacks, and I am just doing tacks because I don't want it to start buckling out of shape. And I've started eye up there in the middle. I don't want to start down here and work up, because there's a good chance that big void there that's not at the moment attached to anything will start buckling. So we're catching that in the middle first, and you've got a better chance of sort of keeping everything straight. Right, let's see how that goes. Where's my glasses? They were up here. Oh, they're over there. Yeah, I think it's definitely better than just having it flush. And obviously, let's grab a tap. I'll just hold that about where it's going to be. See, yeah, going to be about there like that. Obviously it'll be up a bit more, so it'll be threaded in. Yeah, it's another little feature on the bike, isn't it? And then we'll have the curly brake pipe coming off that. Anyway, let's get on with the other side. Okay, that's the other side done. You can see that. What I want to do now is try and sort this tunnel out a bit, just on the end here. So I've got them as best as I can with everything being wonky. So what I'm going to do is sort this tunnel out a bit, because it is it's all over the place basically. But what I think I'm going to do, I've got this piece of 3mm. Yes, it might seem a bit overkill, but I want it to take a lot of the heat away when I weld it. So obviously I've made it too long, but I don't know if you can see. Try and get you a bit closer. I don't know if you can see. So this has been curved, shaped. I actually shaped it around a piston. So we know it's round. So you can see the differences there, what we've got in that radius on the tank. It's quite bad when you actually put something round against it. So what I think I'm going to do is actually tack this in, trim it up, try and carefully weld it round, and hopefully the 3mm will help with the heat. Then, oops, fill these gaps in that we've got down here, which are completely different each side. As you can see that. And then with this, try and do a bit of a lip to match these that I've just done. Shall we see how that goes? I think so. There we go. I think you get the idea from that. I'll say it still needs a bit, but it's about there. It's better than what it was. Right, I'm going to get it back on the bike. Whoo, there we go. Tank back on. Fuel lines back on. All temporary, obviously. As we go along, we'll be trimming bits and dressing bits up and finalising them as time goes on. But that's it. That's another little bit done. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. I'm joking. I'm going to show you. Do you really want to see it? Okay. So there we go. We can see the fuel taps through there. It's a bit dark in here. Mind you, it's starting to lose light outside. Let's see if I can get the light a bit closer. Ain't much better, is it? So yeah, it's made it a little bit different, hasn't it? Still got to just tweak the fuel lines a little bit, get them a tiny bit better. But you can sort of see where we're going with it. I think it's made it a little bit more interesting. Like I say, it's not an original tank, so we haven't butchered anything that's rarish or anything like that. You can all order one of these tanks today and it'll be in the post. That little lip on top, yes, still needs a tiny bit of dressing up, but you're sort of getting the idea. It's all starting to look a little bit better. Might be a bit dark this side. Yeah. We have got plenty of clearance there. I did kink this side to go round the bow mouth. There is plenty of clearance. It's probably a bit dark to see. Like I say, the fuel lines need a bit of tweaking here and there anyway, but they're about there. But yeah, I think it looks better with this in. It sort of starts dropping into place with how the mud guard is and things like that. But, I'm glad we've done that. I am. It looks better. And we'll probably do something about the same up here when I've got all this set out. I'll probably go for the tank mounts next. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do next, actually. I might just finish that chain guard and get the other little thing on there that we was discussing when Dan was here. And then see how it looks. Like I say, I'm doing an extra bit on the top down here where the breather comes out. So I'll do something here for that. Again, I'll make it up as we go along. But yeah. It's getting there, bit by bit. You'll probably see little bits that are slightly out of line and need dressing up and, you know, things like that. But obviously, I know all these bits and I will attend to them as we go through the build. There we go. So yeah, that's I'm quite pleased with that. Like I say, it needs a bit of fine tuning here and there, but that's the shape we're going for. I think that's me done today. It's been a long day. That has took, I don't even know what time it is. It's knocking on a bit. I've been at that 9 hours, something like that. Anyway, that does me. I'm shattered. I'm going to clean the shed up and call it a night and hit the night shift editing, I guess. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Take care.